guys, it's Jeanette Wilde. So this is a different kind of journal that I've made today. This is a design team project for My Creative Spirit. Uses the Princess papers by Stamperia. And it's a little more, I guess you want artsy than usual. I mean, it's kind of a mini album, but really for maybe a very special occasion. It's more, like I said, it's a lot more artsy. It's functional, but it's a lot more artsy than functional. And there's only 4 signatures, and I'm going to put quotes around that because it's really just one folded piece of paper. But you'll see what I mean. It's still quite full, even though there's only 4 pieces of paper in here. So this is a hardback. I've used chipboard. You can get that chipboard at My Creative Spirit. So everything you see here, except for the ribbons and whatever, the fabric and whatever sewing I did, the thread. So the ribbons and the fabric are from my own stash. As a matter of fact, this fabric was given to me by my mother, so thank you, Mom. Other than that, everything here is from My Creative Spirit. So the paper, the cardstock, the chipboard, the glue, the double-sided tape, everything. So I'll have a list down below. So again, it's hardback, but then I covered the chipboard, as you can see, with the fabric. And that's just glued down, nothing special there. And each of the signatures are held in with some ribbon. And I've got a combination of just this, I don't know what you call this. It's almost like an organza ribbon. And then some sari silk in the black. And those are holding in my signatures. And there's nothing on the back, just showcasing this gorgeous fabric. And on the front here, I took one of the journal cards and just backed it with some of the black cardstock and just use a corner chomper to chomp out the corners there. So here we go. Now there's a lot of sewing and little bits of fabric and lace and trim in here. And what I mean by it's not necessarily, your typical mini album or whatever, is it's not necessarily, like I said, there's only, each signature is one folded piece of cardstock. And there's only 4 of them. Each one features either, on each page, either 1 or 2 journal card, photo mat, however you want to think of it. And then each one I've done some kind of special way of holding the journal card photo mat onto the page. Some are these little paper clips and then some pockets. And so you could use this as a photo album, for instance. There are still places within, so you could photo mat, put a photo here, put a photo on the back page. I didn't do anything to the front and back cover, just put a little image on it. You could add even more. There's plenty of room here under the paper clip, and the paper clips are also from My Creative Spirit. So there's plenty of room here. So what I've done is each of these, and this originally is from just the fabric pieces are from a tutorial I learned from Linda Matthews, so I'll have a link to that down below. But she shows how to make these cute little pockets and tucks using fabric. And so it's just a paper clip. Let me take this out. And without, I think I'll show you a different one. Let me show you this one. Take this one out because this one's easier. Not meant to be taken out over and over, so because the fabric gets caught. There we go. So I've just taken these paper clips, and each one I picked a different scrap piece of ribbon. This one was just some lace trim in my stash. and totally random, and scraps. I like to use up my scraps. In each of these, on either the side or the top, it's a piece of fabric, and it's just layered over the top, and then I've decorated each side, and then I've stitched it onto the page, so this doesn't come off the page, so it doesn't move around, which is nice. It stays there and looks pretty, but you can take the paper clip on and off. And what this does is it allows you to kind of, so it tucks behind, oops, let me get in frame, tucks behind the fabric on each side, and then you don't see the paper clip. You just see the pretty on the top and the pretty on the fabric. So let me tuck these back in there, and then I'll just walk you through the book. So we'll go back here to the beginning. So here there's chipboard pieces with the Stamperia collection. There's also die cut, just paper pieces. Also within the paper, there are fussy cut images that you could cut out. I used almost all of actually I used the entire 12 by 12. There's 10 pages within the 12 by 12, and I used every one of them to make the backgrounds for each of the pages and the front and back cover. And then the offcuts were what I used to make the cards, and then to fill in a bit, I did use a couple of the pages out of the 8 by 8. So I think I have 4 pages, so I used 6 pages of the 8 by 8. So this used quite a bit of the all of the 12 by 12, and then a lot of the 8 by 8. And then everything else like I said, were the die cuts and the chipboard pieces. So this one, and by the way, this is Sissy, and I want to say it's the Austrian queen, and it's actually one of the first. So my husband is German. I live here in Germany, but I'm an American. I don't speak German very well. And my husband got me the entire Sissy collection of movies, and I like to sit and watch and read the subtitles, and it helps me to hear my German a little bit better. But yeah, as soon as I saw this paper, I was like, oh, that's Sissy. I knew Sissy, so I just love this paper. It was so special. Okay, on this side, I've got another photo mat, and this is one of there's a lot of really great journal cards that you can get with the collection, as well as, you know, the cut-aparts, but really nice little journal cards. And they come in all sizes, so there's these little ones, big ones, so you can get them all kinds of sizes that work really nice with anything you're doing. And on this one, it's just a little piece of trim, and my little paper clip has, like I said, a little lace trim there. Like I said, each of these, it's just held in with the ribbon, and I like the look. And since this is just a simple photo mat album, these little ribbons don't get in the way. You're not journaling or anything. And yeah, it slides a bit, but it's not nothing's gonna fall out of the book. Okay, and then on this one, we've got one of the things that I really like about Stamperia is they have all these really great pieces that have little quotes, words. Every collection has some set of pieces that have little words on them. This paper is just absolutely gorgeous. And I made a little bit here with the same fabric as the cover, and just a couple little flowers for the trim. And then I have to say, my favorite thing going right now is houses and doors. I just love making little houses and little doors, so I love this paper with all the little doors. And just a little bit of lacy trim, and again, these really great little sayings. And you can put little pictures around here, doodle, so don't have to just use the back. And I think it'd be cute to have a picture of your little one, maybe sitting like they're sitting in front of the door. So that'd be a cute way to use this book. And then here I've used one of the chipboard pieces, and just, I think this is upholstery fabric that I got out of a bargain bin somewhere. And another of the chipboard pieces, that little crown, I love it. And then here we have another of those. I love the little corset cards. They're so cute. Every one of these is I've just left them blank on the back for photos. And just a little bit of lace. Just gorgeous paper. Okay, and then here I have a little bit of lace and took one of the chipboard fans, and then underneath there is just some muslin fabric. And you can see I used some matching, so I tried to match my thread to the green, and I just stitched around it just to add a little something to it. And then here I took these, like I said, all of my cards are the leftover pieces from doing the background pages, and then I just loved showcasing one of the doors. So this is one of the die cuts from the die cut set, and another one of the gorgeous little word quote papers. And then here it's another piece of upholstery in the back with this cute little trim with little bangles. I just thought it was adorable. And I thought it just looked so cute with the paper. Then here I have another card with another of the same quotes. And then I love these little chipboard quills. Tons of little quills in the chipboard and in the die cut set. And here, again, this would be so cute. A little picture of your little one just sitting there looking like they're in the image. And this is the same ribbon as I used on the outside, and just some lace, and I think this was actually a big piece, and I just cut out the little part that I liked. And then in the set there's all of the little princesses and the queens that were around Sissy, so her sisters, her mom, that kind of thing. And so I think this is one of her sisters. And then on this one, oh, yeah, get that. So this is just a little bit of scrap lace. So I had this big piece, and like I'd never get rid of any pieces. So when using a larger piece, and it even, you can see it's all ripped and worn, but I just love that. And so put one of the die cut little cameos on there. It actually, what I love about that is it looks like a real cameo. That's one of the die cuts, or the chipboard pieces from the set. And then just one of the papers. And here again, I've made a pocket using the same fabric as the cover, with one of the chipboard pieces and a little piece of trim. And then on this card, so this is from the die cuts from the set. And then on this side, this is just some linen, some gray linen, and a little piece of lace, and one of the chipboard pieces from the set. And again, offcut with one of these great little quotes that you come in the collection. And then here, it's a little bit of trim in the back with that same gray linen. And then I have a whole string of these floppy black flowers. It came on this lace, and it's on a long strip, and I just cut out the little floppy flowers as I use them. And then on this card we have one of the die cuts, and it says a little gross grain. Is it gross grain, gross grain? I never know how to pronounce that ribbon. And then here again, a little bit of trim on there. And then on this card, I used the chipboard piece of the inkwell, and this is one of the die cuts of the quills. I like the juxtaposition with the chipboard, raises it up. Cute. And then here, this is that same upholstery with a little bit of trim. And then some of the offcuts from, you recognize that from some of the backgrounds. Yeah, I like to use all the pieces. And then another offcut, and then another of the little quill die cuts. And then here we have, I had this upholstery in black and gray. So this is the black one with a little bit of trim, and one of the princess or queen little chipboard pieces. And then on these two, this one I just left because it was just so pretty with all the decoration on it. And then this I added one of the, there's a whole bunch of different sized umbrellas within the die cut set. So I used the big one on that one. And then on the back cover, just again another one of the little quotes that come in the set. So very simple little book, but I think, you know, a little girl would just love to fill this up, or you can fill it up with pictures of your little girl. Very feminine book. I don't usually do too feminine, but I loved making this, all the stitching, and really loved how this fabric worked out. So anyways, definitely go take a look at My Creative Spirit. You can get, like I said, all these pieces are there. And chipboard, the cardstock, paper, the die cuts, the chipboard, everything you can get at My Creative Spirit. So if you have questions, comments, please leave them down below. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.